On our MLB coverage in the second week of April, we've got the Atlanta Braves taking on the Houston Astros. And it's off to Houston we go for the call by Gary Thorne, along with analyst Steve Phillips and John Kruk.
A view from inside Minute Maid Park of the great treats here in Houston. From the National League Central, the Houston Astros matching up against the National League's East, Atlanta Braves. Major League Baseball and 2K Sports. Gary Thorne, John Kruk, and Steve Phillips. Starting on the mound, we'll see Brett Myers. Steve, as he faces these Atlanta hitters, what's he looking at?
A quality right-hander on the mound against this lineup. He should be able to get the outs he needs to come away with a victory, especially if his offense gives him some run support.
Here's the offensive lineup for the Braves. So who are you looking at, John?
Well, there's nothing more exciting than when a fast guy gets on base, what he can do to a pitcher, not only mentally, but physically. Michael Bourne is that guy. Watch him if he gets on base in this one. He can steal bases as good as anyone in Major League Baseball, create so much havoc on the pads.
And our leadoff hitter, Michael Bourne.
For the Atlanta Braves, center fielder, number 24, Michael Bourne.
The pitch from Myers. Big breaker on the 0-0 pitch. It's a called strike.
Well, that's a textbook 12-6 power curveball right there. You start it up in the zone, break it to the bottom of the zone. Even if they swing and put it in play, you get an out.
Ball. And good eye there by Michael Bourne, laying off that one, and the count is evened up. A very nice 308 career batting average for him against the Astros. The 1-1. Hit in the air to center field. Catch is made. Got a chance to check out the Astros defense out on the field like this.
All right, take a look at this club defensively. The thing to remember is they're ranked in the bottom 5 for the total number of errors committed. That's a lot of mistakes and a lot of extra base runners and bases that they've given up.
Now batting with one away. Here's Jason Hayward.
You know, you always hear about the sophomore slump, and it played a toll on Jason Hayward in 2011. Injured a lot, but didn't put up the numbers everyone thought he was capable of.
First pitch is a curveball outside, 1-0. For Hayward, the issue is now going to be for the coming season. Is he going to be able to rebound and have himself an excellent third year or not?
Well, you know, injuries played a role in his struggles in 2011, but also he played a role in that. He needs to be more focused and concentrate and get his job done the way they want him there, but he's still got a chance to be a star.
The 1-1 pitch. And he watches one at the knees, and it's 1-2.
When you can hit your spot with that kind of movement down and into the hitter, you're way ahead of the game.
The 1-2 on its way. There's a ground ball. Downs. Out number 2.
Let's take a brief look here at the Atlanta Braves and how they ranked in the National League last season. 3rd in home run, 9th in batting with runners in scoring position, and they were in the top 10 in runs. An offense that was relentless, that ability to continue to put the pressure on the opposition and take pressure off their own pitching staff.
And a shot here for Brian McCann, 2 down. Over the course of last season, a very good .294 against the Astros. And here's the pitch. It's now 0-1. Watch that fastball go by. Brian McCann isn't fooled by that one. The count is even.
Well, you see, he just missed with that fastball right there away. Let's see if they try to come back inside to try to jam him.
McCann makes contact, fouls it off. Myers with a 1-2 delivery. Strike 3 swung on by Brian McCann, and he is gone. No runs, no hits, no one left on. And the Astros getting ready to start this one off. Tommy Hansen's going to be pitching. He's starting for Atlanta. Steve, what do you think the strategy is going to be today going against this Houston lineup?
Well, for Tommy Hansen, he's a pitcher that usually goes right at the hitters. A power fastball and a power slider. That overpowering stuff where he kind of slings it from a low 3/4 delivery. Very tough for right-handers to pick up.
Here's a swing and a liner to left center. And he's on. That's a nice way to jumpstart your offense. Here's the lineup for the Astros. The scouting pick, John. Who are we looking at today?
Well, Carlos Lee, El Caballo, is still a tough out for a pitcher. What I like about Carlos is that he will go the other way, take what the pitcher gives him in RBI situations. But when he gets an opportunity, if he's ahead in the count, he looks to turn on something and take it deep.
And here's a look at Atlanta on defense. This is what we're going to be seeing on the defensive side of the ball. John, scouting anyone here?
Well, speed kills, and Michael Bourne is both fast and he is fearless. You'll see him dive for balls, run into the wall, do whatever he can to help his team. And the fact that he's added some offense to his game makes him a double threat, both offensively and defensively. But this guy got here with this great defense, and he's going to stay here because he's one of the best going.
Strike started off the at-bat 0-1.
Well, that's a pitch a lot of guys can do some damage on, but unfortunately, the pitcher gets the strike. The hitter couldn't swing the bat.
0-1, the offering from Hansen. Good hard slider, swung on and missed. 0-2. Here it comes. Oh, he lost control of that one, and that gets him.
Is it intentional? Is it not intentional? We'll never really know because nobody will admit it. But one thing we do know, the fastball can hurt.
Carlos Lee with a chance to do some damage.
And with that hit by pitch we saw there, Jerry, now 2 runners on base. And it's got to be in his mind a little bit right now that he's got to be careful, but he can't be afraid to pitch inside.
Hit in the air. And Hayward's there. 1 down. And fans, be sure to tune in tomorrow night. We will be in Detroit to see the Tigers. They take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Game gets underway 7 o'clock Eastern. Snyder at the plate.
Well, you look at the electric stuff that Tommy Hansen possesses, and you see now why he's a top-of-the-rotation guy for a lot of years to come.
Runners on first and second with 1 out. Ground ball to Freeman. And he scoops it up. Over to second for 1. And they get it. They turn 2. 7 pitches and it's done. That's how you save your arm and go deep into a game. Nobody on the board yet here in Houston. Fresh air with the open roof here at Minute Maid Park. A beautiful evening. And it's Dan Uggla in the box now. Starts him out with a fastball for a strike. And the 0-1 by Myers. And it's 0-2. Uggla, he'll be swinging. Anything close.
Tough spot for the hitter. Down 0-2. You got to protect right now.
Tried to get him to go after that curve. 1-2.
With this curveball down and away, now let's see if the pitcher tries to go back inside with the fastball and lock him up.
The 1-2 pitch. And Dan Uggla swings right through it. Strike 3.
Well, they went away right there, and he put a pretty good swing on it, but just couldn't quite make contact. Walking back to the dugout now.
And Freeman will come to the plate.
Hard to argue that it's been a rocky career for Brett Myers, who has seen the highs and lows during his time as a starter and reliever. Last year, continuing to pitch as a starter, he didn't have a great season.
Line fair down the line and right. And they can't cut it off. It'll roll to the wall.
Coming to bat.
So that'll bring Chipper Jones to the plate. The disappointment, especially for Brett Myers, was the fact he was so good in 2010 and then had such a divergent year last year.
Well, it wasn't the same sort of a year, and he doesn't have that great stuff that he used to have, so he has to command it a little bit more. And so many things went wrong in Houston. This was just one more that wasn't quite as good. We look back to last season for a minute. The Astros record at Minute Maid Park, 31-50, the worst home record in baseball. And unfortunately, that's not the only thing they were the worst in.
Here's the delivery. Line drive left of the bag and foul. And that home record Steve was talking about with the Astros. Teams games to Houston and swept them. He sends this one in the air towards center. Now it's 2 down. A look at the Astros' upcoming schedule. This Atlanta series ends tonight. It's a road stint for them, off to face the Marlins in Florida. That series bound to be competitive. That's going to get going on Friday night. Then they head for a series against the Nationals on the road. They'll need help against Ryan Zimmerman in that lineup. So they'll be out and about over a good bit of that upcoming schedule. There's one on. Here's Martin Prado. A career .455 hitter off Brett Myers. Starts him out with a slider for a strike.
Now he has great rotation on his breaking ball right here, and he hits the perfect spot. The hitter just gave up on it.
That's on the outside corner, 0-2. And it's taken outside by Prado for a ball.
Well, you want to start this pitch outside. The curveball is better when it's away from the hitter to break out of the zone, but it never had a chance of being a strike.
Swings, lines this one back up the middle. And he throws on to first. That'll retire the side. Brett Myers comes off the mound. He emerges from the first 2 innings unscathed. And we'll see the Astros coming up next. The 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. Downs at the plate.
Number 16, Matt Downs.
Hansen gets set and delivers. First pitch, fastball, 0-1.
Outstanding mechanics right there. He gets all of his body into the pitch. Great velocity on it. A strike away.
Towards the middle. The dive, and he's got it. Throws in time to first. What a play. Makes a terrific play and a fine throw.
Well, this should have been a base hit. The hitter thought the ball was going through, but a tremendous effort keeping it in the infield and getting the out. Well, look here, last year of the National League and where the Houston Astros ended up ranking. First in doubles, third most in hits, and this offense showed up in the top 5 in the league in batting average, really pointing to the depth and quality of their hitters. A very deep lineup with quality at bats.
And it's fouled away. Hansen is ahead now, 0-2. Tries to saw him off with that one, but he missed. 1-2.
Well, that pitch just took off right there and exploded out of the pitcher's hand. Kept it just a little bit inside, though. Tough pitch to hit. Good job by the hitter to lay off.
Swings and grounds this one to the right side. Foul. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider, 2 down.
K-Cam's going to show us a good look at this slider.
Fantastic piece of pitching to get that out, John.
Well, that's the part of pitching you love. He's looking for a fastball. He's expecting a fastball, and then just drop one right off the table. What a pitch.
Now the State Farm leaderboard. Look at those teams who had the highest average last year. The Cardinals, #1. Second, the Mets. In third, the Brewers. The Rockies, 4th. It's the Astros, number 5.
One of the top hitting teams in baseball last year will be on display in this game today. And these guys, when they step out of the dugout, they're swinging the bats. These guys can put the ball in play, and they all hit for a high average.
0-1 count as that started off with a strike. Hit up the middle. Look out off the pitcher. Throws on to first in time to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning. Tommy Hansen put in some effective pitching so far. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. We'll be looking to the leadoff batter later on in this inning, another AB. Pasternicki's in the batter's box.
Number 28, Tyler Pasternicki.
Ain't no corners, Myers.
Myers too far outside. That's a ball. Snyder setting up. There's contact. He drove it well. One away.
For the Atlanta Braves, pitcher number 48, Tommy Hansen.
Now State Farm takes a look at who had the most triples last year. There's a look at Bourne. He's 4th.
Well, it's nice when you can put yourself in scoring position with one swing of the bat. And this guy last year did it as good as anyone in baseball. A ton of triples for this guy. One of the league leaders in that department. And when he puts himself on third base, he can score in so many ways. And he makes the hitters behind him so much better.
And Myers gets him swinging for the first strike. Here's the pitch. Lined foul towards third. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air to left center. And Martinez. And he gets over to take care of it.
Center fielder, number 24, Michael Bourne.
Here's Michael Bourne batting with 2 down. 3 for 7 career batter off Brett Myers. Here's Bourne's first look. Sliders in there, no balls and a strike.
A good late break, hard break on that breaking pitch. Outstanding effort.
Pitch on the way. And good eye there by Michael Bourne, laying off that one, and the count is evened up.
Good spot there, just down a little bit out of the zone. Tried to get him to chase. He wouldn't go for it.
Here's the 1-1. And he lays it down. He'll try to beat it out. And Snyder picks it up. Throws on to first. Side is retired. 3 up, 3 down this half inning. Nobody on the board yet here in Houston. And if you are just coming on board, Gary Thorne, Steve Phillips, John Kruk, as we bring you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. Bourgeois in the batter's box. He bunts the ball. Hansen. And he throws on to first for the out. Put away.
Well, he's clearly putting for hit all the way here, but not able to get it where he wants to, and they were able to make the play.
Here's what the Braves have coming up in April. Tonight is the last game of this Houston series. After that, they'll play host to the Brewers and the bat of Corey Hart, a team that will definitely give them a competitive series. That's at the end of the week. Then they take on the division rival Mets. Great series there. Lots of home games. That's always a good thing. Now here's a grounder towards the hole. And he steps on first. That's the second out.
That's a nice play at first. Taking care of it himself. Doing a nice job handling the glove.
Altuve at the plate. Base hit his last time. First pitch to him. Swung on, liner to right. And with 2 down, they've got a man on board.
Well, even though there's 2 outs, you never want to think you're out of an inning. And this guy came up there and hit this ball hard somewhere. He gets on base with that solid hit, and who knows what can happen after that.
And we're going to see Martinez here. We'll try it again. Hit by a pitch as last time.
Puts a little pressure on the defense and on the pitcher right now. Speed at first base, tie game. You've got to hold them close, but you can't be distracted. You still have to go after the hitter.
It's Freeman over there at first. He'll hold him on.
Game time.
Hanson is ahead now, 0-2.
He gets 2 quick strikes on the hitter, but he can't be too selective now. He's got to go right at him.
He deals. Tries to ring him up with a fastball away, but it's 1-2. One-two pitch coming. Here's a swing and a line drive. The throw and safe at second. No problem. Good offensive chance here.
Number 45.
Now this pitch just cuts right over the heart of the plate. The hitter handled it perfectly.
That's one of those where you've given in by making a bad pitch and really made it much easier for the hitter.
Now he's better than that. Bear down.
Two men on and 2 men out. Here's a spin and a throw back to second. Oh, he had to stretch that one out, but he got back in there. Now Lee gets set. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right center. And it's starting to head out towards the wall. He's thinking extra bases. And he will score from second base. And Martin also crosses. And he'll stop at second base. That'll be a 2-run double. Those 2 RBIs, boy, that makes a difference. We can see just how much on this WPA chart.
Well, that's 3 consecutive hits he's given up. He can't be out of gas yet. He just has to bear down and get somebody out. They don't want to go to the bullpen this early in the game.
Snyder at the plate. Well, they've done themselves quite a job here. This is a nice push at this point of the ball game to get out in front. He delivers. Hit up the middle. A moment here for Houston if they can execute.
One of the toughest pitches to hit in baseball. It really is the one that separates the good hitters from the mediocre hitters. He stays with the slider and doesn't try to do too much with it.
Downs at the plate. And the first pitch. First pitch is a slider in there, 0-1.
Boy, that's a tough pitch to deal with right there. You might be looking for a fastball. You get the breaker down and away.
On the way. He swings and nails a liner. And Uggla's there to retire the side. So they bring across 2 runs. The first 2 runs of the game here in the 3rd inning, figuring out that pitching. The Astros on top, 2-0.
Coming to bat for the Atlanta Braves.
Jason Hayward is at the plate.
Number 22.
This has been a real treat, Jeremy. Myers has been so good today.
Take a look at this first pitch delivered and see how he's doing.
You tell pitchers all the time, work ahead. What do you mean by that? Well, that means go 0-1. Throw a first pitch strike. And he's retired 6 hitters in this game when he's gotten a first pitch strike.
Swung on and ripped towards second. And he cannot come up with it. And he can't recover in time. That's going to go as an error. And that'll bring out Brian McCann. Now our State Farm sponsored look at how the league home run pace was set last year. Number 1, Matt Kemp. 2nd, Prince Fielder. 3rd is Albert Pujols. fourth, Dan Uggla. And number 5 is Mike Stanton.
Well, this is a list of hitters that strikes fear in the opposition pitching. They have to, because they know with one swing of the bat, they can change the score of the game.
Swung on by McCann, strike 1.
Into the fourth inning, clearly pitching dominating this lineup right now. He's only given up 1 hit, and they just have not had quality at-bats against him. He's making it look easy.
And not in time to lead to get the double play. There's one on, and here's Dan Uggla.
Well, it wasn't exactly the dream start that Dan Uggla envisioned when he got traded to the Atlanta Braves. Got off to a slow start, but he turned it around late in the season.
The pitch from Myers. Smash towards the hole. This a great situation for some offense. And regarding Uggla's season, indeed it was tough through June, and then came the All-Star break, and then came the numbers, Joe.
Yeah, he was struggling all season, but the thing that didn't leave him was power. 21 home runs after the All-Star game. Just a monster down the stretch for the Braves, and a big reason why they were in the playoff hunt all year.
Uggla's the runner at first. Runner on second base, McCann. And Myers gets him swinging for the first strike. He got things going earlier on. First at bat, he got a single off Myers.
If I'm up to bat, I'm looking for another fastball early in the count that I can drive. You've seen it once. You know he's able to get around on it, and it doesn't lock him up. He's got to be able to put that ball in play.
Freddie Freeman watching it go by for a ball. Counts even.
The best curveballs are the ones that start in the strike zone, then fall out of the strike zone. He couldn't get him to fish for that one, though.
Here's a strike, bottom half of the zone, 1-2 now.
That's a great pitch. When you get it to break low in the zone like that with that kind of movement, awfully tough on the hitter.
The 1-2 pitch. Slider swung on and missed. 2 down.
2 outs now. Those runners are still standing on base. Let's see if he can find his way out of this with the lead intact.
And the pitch to Jones. Out in front on that one. Strike 1. And a moment here to see how this pitcher has been mixing up his pitches.
Well, the thing that stands out to me is the fact that he's thrown strikes and he's commanded the strike zone, and he's not been predictable. If a pitcher becomes predictable, he becomes easy to hit.
And he needs to stay focused right here, not get off track. He knows what his plan is. Change speeds, change locations, change pitches, move the ball around.
And he'll come in to score.
Now coming to bat.
Gotta love the approach right there, Gary. Never letting up. Going for 2 out of the box.
And a little bit of the element of surprise, I think, Steve, because where that ball landed is not a common area to take an extra base.
You know what? You have to take advantage of opportunities or create opportunities. That's what he did right there.
So 2 down, Martin Prado. Right now, looking better for this ball club. This is what they needed. Just chink away here and get back into this thing. The pitch from Myers. Starts him out with a slider for a strike.
This is where you want to go with the breaking ball, to the outside corner. Paint the black. Get the call. The hitter gave up on it. He got the pitch he wanted.
That's hit foul by Prado. Prado again with that foul.
Well, the battle starts when you step in the batter's box, but the real battle starts when the count is 0-2, and that's where he sees himself. But give him credit. He's keeping himself alive by fouling off that tough 0-2 pitch on the outside part of the plate. Let's see if he can make the pitcher make a mistake.
So they pick up a run on 2 hits, and they leave a couple. The Braves would like another inning like this, or better. They've made some progress.
Coming to bat.
For those of you just joining in, I'm Gary Thorne along with John Kruk and Steve Phillips. We bring you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. Paradis in the batter's box. 0 for 1 thus far. Hit sharply towards the hole. And his throw gets him one away.
Well, he just makes every ground ball to the right side look routine. He scoops up another one and sends him back to the dugout.
Bo Gasiewicz now comes to the plate. Here we go with a little breakdown on the types of pitches that he's throwing on the mound that are turning into hits.
This guy's four-seamer's been hit 2 times.
You know, with a few runs he's given up, I'm not sure that a pair of hits is really a big concern for him. He's come out of the gate strong and has definitely been in control when he's gone at the hitters.
Ross setting up. And that's in there. Hansen ahead now 0-1. Here's the pitch. He's at 0-2. He watched that fastball that was in there. Oh, tough one to lay off right there. That fastball, 1-2.
A great movement on that two-seam fastball, trying to start it on the corner, running it off the plate. The hitter just laid off.
Fastball just about had him, and it's a 2-2 count. Steve, how about a look at what the pitcher's got done?
Now these ground balls coming out because his right-hander really changing speeds, moving the ball around, changing the hitter's eye level, and pounding the bottom third of the strike zone.
And he fouls another one off.
Well, you have to respect the ability of a guy who's just not giving up an at-bat right here. He is grinding it out. That slider, tough pitch. He got just enough of it, though, to stay alive.
And the curveball, it's in there. Struck him out. 2 down now.
Well, when you establish the inside part of the plate, it opens up the outside part of the plate. He goes with the curveball and gets the strikeout.
Bourgeois in the batter's box. He went 1 for 6 last year against the Braves. And here's the first one. He fouls that one off. Hansen is ahead now 0-2. Now, to be effective, you got to mix your pitch types and speed. Here's what we've seen from this pitcher today. What's your take, guys?
Yeah, the thing about it is he's keeping his team in the game, and aside from a few mistakes he's thrown, he's done a pretty good job of mixing things up.
Yeah, it's been fairly consistent in this game. The variety of pitches has been good, and most importantly, his choice of when to go with a certain pitch has been effective.
Line towards third and foul. Here's the delivery. Slider called. Strike 3. Side is retired. And a good defensive half inning. 3 up, 3 down. Houston 2, Atlanta
1. Up to the plate.
Pasternicki's in the batter's box. He'll get a start here in the 5th.
Pasternicki.
And he starts him out. A line drive towards the hole, and he makes the catch. 1 away.
Boy, it's different when you're playing third base. It's one thing if the ball comes at you fast and you're a hitter because you expect it. It's hard to read it off the bat. You have to have great reactions. That's a great play.
Hansen settles in. He flew out his last time up. Cut fastball swung on and missed. 0-1. And here's a quick chance to look at how this guy has been mixing up his locations to this lineup.
I really like what we've seen from him. Move the ball up and down, in and out, changing the eye level of the hitter.
Man, you got to do that. I mean, you think about his strategy, and his success today is a testament to how important it is to mix up your location.
Swung on and fouled away. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball. 2 down.
For the Atlanta Braves.
Well, 2 strikes on the hitter, and he came inside. He just couldn't catch up quickly enough to it. He must have been thinking away. Things getting very interesting right now, Gary. Michael Bourne at the plate. He can really fly. Let's see if that speed factors into the showdown.
Last season, very good 308 against the Astros at Minute Maid Park. The pitch from Myers. Swung on grounder. This might be it. Altuve. Throw will pull him off the bag. He is safe at first. That'll bring up Jason Hayward. Well, let's take a look at a breakdown of how this pitcher has been generating quality strikes. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, just impressed with this young man, the way he's just hit the lower part of that strike zone. When you can keep the ball down, you have a recipe for success.
Boy, he's so accurate on that corner as well. And I tell you, that ability to repeat his delivery and get that release point where he wants it.
And the first pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground. And on to first for out number 3, and that's going to do it.
Well, they treated their hometown crowd to a phenomenal pitching performance in this one. A big win on the shoulders of their pitchers.
Would like now to take a look at our player of the game. Let's make a pick. Brett Myers, what a game.
Well, you know, Gary, he made just that one mistake, but that doesn't tarnish the shine of this performance today. And I'll tell you what, a manager absolutely loves it when he doesn't have to go to the bullpen. He can give those guys a day off, and it makes them stronger for the remainder of the season. But I tell you, this guy was throwing strikes today, and it was an easy decision to keep him in the game.
And, Steve, that ought to send these folks home happy.
Well, no question about it. They get the win in a close game, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and ready for the next one.
Now, that time again, thanks for being with us today, Major League Baseball. For Steve Phillips, Sean Kruk, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody.